This is the first part. Sorry, this is the fourth part of the federalism, that is decentralization in India, which is on the page number 24 of your textbook. 24 of your textbook, and that is decentralization. Today's topic is decentralization. Then here we noted above that federal government has two or more tiers of the government. We have so far discussed that two tiers of the government is in our democracy. But a vast country like India cannot be run only through these two tiers. States in India are a large as independent country, just like European independent country or size of our country state. They are just like a independent countries of the Europe. So, in the term of population, Uttar Pradesh is bigger than the Russia. Maharashtra is about as big as Germany. Many of these states are internally very diverse. There is thus a need for power sharing within this state. ऐसे states में पावर शेयरिंग की ज़रूरत है. फेडरल फॉर्म or federal power sharing in India needs another tier for the government below that of the state government. This is rational for the decentralization of power, means giving authority, powers to the local government. That is decentralization, which is found in India. Actually, this is called local government, and it is extended power of the state government. Thus result a third tier of government called local government. When power is taken away from the central and state and given to the local government is called the decentralization, means power is taken out from central and state government and given to which government? Local or self government. And that concept related sharing power is called the decentralization. These basic ideas behind decentralization is that there are large number of problems and issues which are best settled in the local level, means because local people knows their resources, their problems very well. They are familiar with very well with their problems and resources or solution on that. So it is important for the decentralization which is found in India. People have better knowledge of the problem in their localities. अपने ही localities में क्या problem है, तो they are well understood about their problems. They also have a better ideas on where to spend the money and how to manage this more efficiently. Beside at the local level, it is possible for the people to directly participate in the decision making. Means again I am reading, beside at the local level, it is possible for the people to directly participate in the decision making in the state government or in assembly, state legislative assembly as well as parliament. It is means there is no provision, or it is not practically possible to sit all the people together. But in local level, because of having the small unit, it is possible to sit together for solving their problem, and just that is gram sabha. It is occur with means near about 2 times in a year. So this help to inculcate a habit of democratic participation. Local government is the best way to realize one's important principle of the democracy, namely local self-government. It is one of the principle. What is that? Local self-government means giving authority to them to solve their respective problems in their own level. The need for decentralization was recognized in our constitution. Since then, there have been several attempts to decentralize power to the level of village and towns. Panchayat in village, municipalities in urban areas were set up in all the states, but these were directly under the control of state government. Means these municipalities, urban areas, though it is a local self government, but it is extended power of the state government, or it is directly controlled by the state. Election to this local government were not held regularly. Local governments did not have any powers or resources of their own. Thus, there was very little decentralization in the effective terms. Means before 290, there was limited authority to this local government. Then a major step towards the decentralization was taken, that was 1992. Means before 1992, situation was different of local self-government. They had limited powers. But all this scenario changed after 1992 of this decentralization. The constitution was amended to make the third tier of democracy more powerful and effective. Means in constitution amended for what purpose? To make the third tier of democracy. Third tier means this is local government. For making local government, provision of local government, they made amended the constitution. That is called here third tier of democracy, more powerful and effective. Means before 1992, it was in existence. Third tier was there in our democracy, but that was not much effective and powerful. So as per the provision to 1992, this became effective. Now, what changes taken place after 1992? So here, now it is constitutionally mandatory to hold regular election to the local government body. Means it becomes essential or mandatory for holding election. Then second provision they made, seats are reserved in the elected body and executives head of this institution for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes. So this is second provision, that is seats are reserved for the elected bodies and executives for the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and backward classes. Then another provision next, that is at least one third of all the positions are reserved for the women, means one third seats they are reserved in this local government for the women. And independent, next one, independent institution called the State Election Commission has been created in each state in 1992. The independent institution that they created by the name State Election Commission. Each state to conduct the panchayat and municipal election, and it is the responsibility, State Election Commission responsibility to conduct the election of this local body also. With then another provision, the state government are required to share some powers and revenue with the local government bodies, means in local self-government they can arrange or they can solve their economical problem in their local level. They given power to collect the taxes or whatever expenditure would be there, they can do it on their local level, but still there is provision to get the help, financial help for what or revenue, some powers and revenue with the local government. It is required to share from the state government. The nature of sharing varies from state to state, means her state का nature providing revenue and powers to their local government, self government, they are varies from state to state. Okay, so here the rural local government is popularly known by the name of Panchayat Raj. Means rural government or local government popularly known as by which name? Panchayat Raj. Each village or group of village, some states has a gram panchayat. This is council consisting of several ward members, often called panch. They are often called what? Panch. And president or sarpanch, means they are elected members from this panchayat, gram panchayat. They are directly elected by all the adult population living in that ward or village, means these are directly elected by the people from the village. Then it is on the page number 25th of your textbook. So it is the decision making body, will elected members of the gram panchayat, they are considered what? Decision making body for the entire village, means whatever decision have to take related to that different issues, so this body is having the authority as a representative to take the decision of that village on particular matter. So the panchayat works under the overall supervision of gram sabha. Panchayat works under overall supervision of the gram sabha. Gram sabha means body of the villagers, those who are above 18 years. They comes gram sabha and they supervised here. So all the voters in the village are its members. gram sabha के जो members कौन होते? All the voters, means those who are 18 above 18 years, they are called the voters here. They supervise work of this panchayat. It has to meet at ट्वाइस और थ्राइस इन अ ईयर, 2 या 3 बार इनको मीन्स एक साथ बैठना होता है, दैट इज़ टुगेदर मीटिंग, पंचायत मीटिंग, to approve the annual budget. For what purpose they sit together? 2 or 3 times in a year to approve the annual budget, means what would be the expenditure and what would be the earning. That is called here, for particular year, that is called budget of the Gram Panchayat, and to review the performance of Gram Panchayat. जो भी ग्राम पंचायत में वर्क होते हैं तो उसका परफॉर्मेंस है वो रिव्यू करने के लिए, वो इवेल्युएट करने के लिए दे सिट टुगेदर ऑल दिस वोटर्स. सो द लोकल गवर्नमेंट structure goes right up to the district level. A few gram panchayat are grouped together to form what is actually called the panchayat samiti or block or mandal. These are different name of this panchayat samiti, block or mandal. The members of this representative body are elected by all the panchayat members in the area. Means this local body, they are divided into three types, three category. In the district level it is called the ZP, Jilla Parishad. Panchayat Samiti means Tahsil level or small town, and last tier that is local self government village panchayat. So all the panchayat samiti or mandals in the district together constitute the Jilla Parishad, and that is why there are 3 tiers, and it is called the 3-tier system. So Jilla Parishad in the district level, Panchayat Samiti in Panchayat level, and Gram Panchayat it is in the village level. This is 3 tiers. Most members of the Jilla Parishad are elected. Members of the Lok Sabha and MLAs of the district and some other officials of the other district level bodies are also its members. So member of the Lok Sabha, then members of or MLA, next is MLA, member of the legislative assembly of the districts, particular district, and some other official of the other district level bodies are also its member. If we discuss about the these members of Amravati, then who would be in this body? First of all, MP, member of parliament, who is a member of parliament now, Navneet Rana, and then various members, MLA from our districts, from the various region, because constituencies are much more as per the population of these MLAs number, they are more. Then Lok Sabha member, it is only one of this district, okay, and other officials, they are the member of this elected members of this body. Then Jilla Parishad chairperson is politically head of the Jilla Parishad. So Jilla Parishad chairperson is political head. He is political head of the Jilla Parishad. Okay. Then similarly, local government bodies exist for rural areas as well. Municipalities are set up in the town. In urban areas, local body, that is municipality, are set up in the town. And if we talk about the big cities, are constituted into municipal corporation. Big cities or metropolitan cities, there is municipal corporation, and in small cities there are municipalities. Both these municipalities and municipal corporations are controlled by the elected bodies consisting of the people's representative. In both the bodies, in urban areas, municipalities and municipal corporation, in big small town and big town, there, there is representative or elected body. Municipal chairperson is the political head of the municipality. Who is the political head of the municipality? Municipal chairperson. In the municipal corporation, such an officers is called the mayor. और म्यूनसिपल कॉरपोरेशन के जो ऑफिसर्स होते हैं उनको कहा है मेयर, हुज पोजीशन इज वेरी प्रेस्टिजियस इन देयर body. Then on the page number 26, this new system of local government, this is the new system of local government, means after 1992, is largest experiment in the democracy conducted everywhere in the world. Means this is successfully conducted experiment of the democracy. There are some about 36 lakh elected representative in the panchayat. 36 elected representative are in the panchayat and municipalities and all over the countries. This number is bigger than the population of many European and many countries in the world. मीन्स ये जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है, टोटल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ लोकल सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट इन आर कंट्री, दिस इज मच ब्रॉडर ग्रुप और पॉपुलेशन देन द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ मेनी countries in the world. So constitutional status for the local government has helped to deepen the democracy in our country. Means it is helpful for deepening the roots of democracy in our country by giving authority to the local self government. It also increased women's participation in this local self government, increase women's participation and voice in our democracy. At the same time, there are many difficulties. While the elections are held regularly and enthusiastically, Gram Sabha are not held regularly. Means these are some basic problems or how to face the difficulties. So one of the difficulties, there is a provision that regularly have to conduct the Gram Sabha meeting, but it is not easy task. Problems arise like to this. Then most states government have not transferred significant power. Most the state government have not transferred significant powers to the local government, nor have they given adequate resources. We are thus still a long way for realizing the idea of self government. Means still we haven't achieved this, or though we have adopted or we are running smoothly with the help of local self government, but still we are long walk, or still we haven't achieved or achieve this successfully. Still there is time for getting successfully. So here most of the points of this lesson we have discussed. Then we'll discuss some points with the differences in federal form of government and unitary form of government. Generally, this question asked in the board exam, what is the difference between federal form of government and unitary form of government? So, first of all, we take the points, that is nature of the federal form. What would be the nature of federal form and what would be the nature of unitary form of government? So, with comparison, we'll discuss the nature, federal form of government and unitary form of government. So, under the federal system, there are two levels of government. फेडरल सिस्टम में दो लेवल्स होते हैं गवर्नमेंट के, one at the central and other at the state. Both level have their separate areas of the jurisdiction. Jurisdiction means area of jurisdiction means अधिकार क्षेत्र. तो central government as well as state government, both these government, they have their own separate jurisdiction. But if we talk about the unitary form of government, in the unitary system, either there is only one level of government. unitary form में क्या होता है, एक तो एक की लेवल होती है, ओनली वन लेवल ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, और सब यूनिट ऑफ दैट आर सबऑर्डिनेट टू द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. मीन्स इफ सेकंड लेवल भी है तो दे आर सबऑर्डिनेट टू द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. मीन्स दैट लेवल हैज कंट्रोल बाय whom? Central government in unitary. But in federal form, the separate jurisdiction is given to both the level. So this is the basic difference of the nature of the federal form of government and unitary form of government. Second, constitution. In federal constitution, in the one of the point for difference, constitution in federal form, it must have the written constitution. Constitution is rigid nature. हमारी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कैसे रिजिड भी है और फ्लेक्सिबल भी है. इट इज़ रिजिड एज वेल एज फ्लेक्सिबल. मीन्स अमेंडमेंट कैन take place in our constitution, but some provisions they are easily changed, and for some provisions or amendment it requires much majority. So in this it must have the written constitution. फेडरल फॉर्म में written constitution की ज़रूरत होती है. Constitution is rigid in nature. It cannot be changed easily. यहाँ कोई भी changes easily नहीं कर सकते. Where in the federal form of government. But if we talk about the unitary form of government, it may or may not have written constitution. यहाँ written constitution भी हो सकते हैं यूनिटरी में या नहीं भी. द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज फ्लेक्सिबल, और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है भी यहाँ रिटर्न है या नॉन रिटर्न है, बट इट कैन इजीली फ्लेक्सिबल. हमारे या फेडरल फॉर्म में इजीली चेंज मॉडिफाई नहीं हो सकती. तो दिस इज रिलेटेड टू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजन इन फेडरल एंड यूनिटरी फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. देन कम टू द function in the federal form of government. First, in the federal system, the state government has power of its own. In federal system, a state government has its power of its own, for which it is not answerable to the central government. See, I am reading again. In federal system, the state government has power of its own. फेडरल गवर्नमेंट में स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को अपना खुद का पावर दिया जाता है, हैज़ अ ओन पावर for which it is not answerable to the central government. In federal form of government, state government is powerful. They have their own jurisdiction. They can take their own decision, and they are not answerable to the central government. In the federal form of government, this is important. But if we talk about the unitary form of government, so in unitary system, state government does not have power of its own. यूनिटरी सिस्टम में यदि दो लेवल भी है, सेंट्रल और स्टेट, या दैट इज़ नॉट कॉल्ड स्टेट बट इट इज़ अ एक्सटेंडेड पावर ऑफ दिस सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, एंड दिस स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और रीजनल गवर्नमेंट does not have the power of its own. They have to accept instruction of the central government, and this extended unit of this state government, they are answerable to the center government for their questions. So this is the basic difference related to the function. Then second difference, in federal form of government, central government cannot order the state government to do something. फेडरल फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट में सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट जो है वो ऑर्डर नहीं दे सकती. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कांट गिव द order to whom? State government, to do the particular things only. They can't give such a instruction or order to the state government. In which form of government? That is in federal form of government. But if we talk about the unitary government, government, the central government can pass on an order. Central government order pass कर सकते हैं to the local government, and this local government has responsible to ask to work as per the decision or order of the central government, or they are answerable to the central government. Means these are the two basic difference related to the function in federal form of government and unitary form of government. Then third point of the discussion is that scope and significance. If first of all we talk about the federal form of government, so in most of the federation there is dual citizenship. In most of the federation there is what? Dual citizenship, one for one of the country and one of the state. In our country it is not there. We have citizenship for the whole of the country, not there is separate for the Maharashtra. We are living in Maharashtra, so there is no separate citizenship for the Maharashtra, but it is citizenship for whole of the countries. But in generally in federal form of government there are there is dual citizenship, one for what? Whole of the country, and one for the state. And such a citizenship given or example, that is of the United States, but this does not exist in India. United States में means they came together just for showing the big unit. So first of all they have citizenship of their own country, and then of the USA. Then if we talk about the unitary form of government, unitary system has single citizenship. Unitary system में क्या होता है? Single citizenship. And examples, federal form of the government, example Belgium and Canada. And in unitary form of government, example that is of the France and China. Unitary government का है France and China. And federal form that is Belgium, Canada, then USA also example. But if we talk about the India, we'll discuss this question, how federalism practice. Already we have discussed, but again we'll talk on this matter. In India, though we have not adopted fully federalism, but our government, form of government, it is close or just like a federal form of government. Okay, so this is about the different point of the federal form of government and unitary form of government. Now come to the federation coming together and holding together. Already we have discussed while teaching this lesson, but still in short we discuss there are two types of the federation. First it is coming together and another one is holding together. Coming together federation involved independent states. In coming together federalism, it involved independent state coming together on their own to form the bigger unit. Bigger unit दिखाने के लिए they comes together in this coming together federation. And another federation that is holding together. In this system, large power or the country decide to divide the powers between the constitutional state and national state. Then in coming together federation, units try to increase their security by pooling the sovereignty and the retaining identity. In holding together, there is absence of pooling sovereignty and retaining identity. In fact, in this federation, central government subordinate over the constitutional unit. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट यहाँ सबऑर्डिनेट होता है. Then in coming together, in this category, the federation, all constituent units usually have equal power. All constituent units have usually equal powers and are strong. Vice versa, the federal government means यहाँ state government or various constituent units, they are powerful. For example, USA, Switzerland, Australia, they are the example of coming together. And in holding together, central government tend to be more powerful. Just like in India, central government tend to be more powerful, vice versa the state. Means in this, both these governments, center as well as state, they are powerful. Sometimes constituent units of the federation have unequal powers. For example, in India, Jammu and Kashmir has been granted special power. Now it is removed. Example, India, Spain, Belgium, then these are the examples of holding together federation. So here we have seen the difference between coming together and holding together of this federalism. Okay.